Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. So this is going to be a little different. This is going to be a voiceover because I actually forgot to film the beginning portion of this video. So long story short, this video was initially going to be the last 5 days of 25 days of manga, and then I was going to have a separate video wrapping up all of the things that I read and giving a review on my advent calendar. But realized I never posted the 5 days prior to the last 5 days, and I can't find the footage anywhere, so I must have deleted it at some point when I was deleting reading vlogs. So I decided to just scrap the part of the video where I was going over the last few books that I read for 25 days of manga, and then I'm just gonna do the wrap-up portion going over everything that I finished and then doing my review for the Sipsby advent calendar. I think that's all I needed to talk about in this little intro portion. So now you would get back to the actual footage that I filmed probably a few weeks ago now. I'm going to just kind of, as quickly as possible, do an overall review of the Sipsby advent calendar. So for those of you who don't remember or didn't watch like the very first video that I did with 25 days of manga, here is the advent calendar. I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing because it's actually pretty big. But here is the here is the advent calendar for Sipsby, or that I received from Sipsby. Here it is all folded up, and it does have like a little one of those magnetic clasps. So now that I'm all done, I can store it like this, which is very helpful. So I really like the idea of doing this because it kind of cuts back on some of the waste because it is reusable, and unless you're just very destructive, I don't see how you can really ruin this. However, I will say that this was not my favorite thing ever. I had a few things that I was not the biggest fan of going into it, like right from the start of it. And I'm not trying to be too picky, but I figured that I would just let you guys know that. And also, if anyone from the Sipsby company happens to see this, this is things that can be improved in the future if they continue to do this advent calendar, because I think that Sipsby is a really good company. First, I'm going to start off with the price. The actual tea advent calendar, the one that I got, the 24 calendar, which with the reusable thing, including the tea, was $150. So yeah, price definitely something that you would have to consider. I did it because I was just like, I wasn't gonna do it, and I talked to my mom. She was just like, get what you want. So I decided to treat myself and get it, and it could be something really good if they had done a few other things to add to the price, because honestly, I think the reason why I was so upset, which is I will break it down as I go along, but I think a lot of that price went into the actual calendar portion of it. And while I think it's cute, while I appreciate the fact that it is reusable and it's actually very sturdy material, I have a feeling that it wasn't even half of that went into actually making the actual calendar. And that's where I have a problem, because I think without the tea it was like $75 for just a calendar, and I can't imagine that this thing costs $75 to make. As sturdy as it is, especially when they're mass producing it, like, yeah, I just don't think that it costs $75 to make a single one of these. And that's something where I feel like, I get you're trying to make a profit off of your stuff, but I don't believe in like upselling absurdly. So price, number one con of this advent calendar. And I think what made it even more of an issue with the price is that some things that I would have expected to come with it weren't. Next, I'm going to move into the actual teas, and this comes in a 2-part section, which might sound a little picky, but once again, for $150, and that was the base price, I had to pay tax on it too, so it came out to even more than that. So getting into the actual teas. So the tea, when I received it, I think I talked about it. I might have cut it out though in a previous video. When the tea came, it came in a brown paper bag. All of the teas were in one thing, and they weren't like wrapped up or anything, or like put up in some way where if you're getting it for yourself, you wouldn't be seeing everything, you know, right off the bat when you open up your package. It's not necessarily a problem, but it takes away part of the advent calendar. You know, you get an advent calendar because you want stuff to open up and you want to be surprised, but for the fact of the price, they didn't take the time to put the teas in the actual advent calendar. And I get sometimes, you know, with COVID and stuff going on, and this came individually wrapped. So, you know, I can understand maybe not wanting to deal with everyone's package because you just want to, for safety reasons. But I felt like at that point you could have wrapped up the teas. If you're living alone or you bought it for yourself, then you have to put it together for yourself, and then at that point you will have seen everything that's going into the advent calendar, so it takes, you know, part of the surprise away. The other thing about the actual tea, I don't know if this is true or not, but I felt like what happened with the teas is that they got all of their leftover teas from their regular boxes, and that's what got sent out in the advent calendars. If that's the case, I feel like that should have been stated up front, because say if you have gotten all of their boxes since the beginning of time, you will probably most likely have come across these teas at some point. Me getting this package and only having gotten the subscription for however long I had it, I think I had 2 or 3 duplicates that I had already had in my collection. I was expecting the advent calendar of new teas that were curated for this time of year. It just rubbed me the wrong way for, once again, the price that I paid for it. A lot of it comes back to what was given for the price that I paid. The other thing that I think was a huge thing that kind of bothered me about this was the fact that there was no tea bags or steepers of any kind included. I didn't realize that all of them were going to be loose leaf teas. Now, I don't have a problem with drinking loose leaf teas at all. However, I have a problem with the fact that you sent an advent calendar with literally every single tea that you receive was loose leaf, and you don't send any either bags or a steeper. I think what made it even worse is that I know that in their subscription boxes that they always send out a bag of tea bags. Once again, for the price that is paid, I feel like there could have been some value in that going towards the disposable tea bags or some type of reusable tea steeper. I think that's probably all of the complaints that I had about it. I just thought it was a bit too expensive for what was given. Overall, I would probably give the advent calendar like 2.5 stars. I feel bad saying that, but it was just a lot more wrong with it, I felt like, than I enjoyed. Now that I have ranted kind of about this advent calendar, I'm going to quickly go over all of the manga that I read pretty much for the entire month. I will link the playlist up above for all of the previous videos. So starting right off, I have Coyote Volume 1 and Coyote Volume 2 by Ranmaru Zarya, and I gave both of these 4 stars. And then I have Catch Me, Fight Me, Love Me by Sharon Morishita, which I gave 5 stars. Next was My Senpai is Annoying Volume 1 by Shiramata, which I gave 4 stars. Then I also finished Love Love Fighting Volumes 1 through 3 by Sharon Morishita, which I gave 3.5 stars. And then I finished Chibi Vampire Volume 1 by Yuna Kakisaki, gave that one 4 stars. Then I finished Blackbird Volume 1 by Konoko Sakurakuji, also gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Hanakimi Volume 1 by Hisaya Nakajo, gave that one 3.5 stars. Then I read My Boss's Kitten Volume 1 by Yumi Hasawa, gave that one 4 stars, as well as My Boss's Kitten Volume 2 by Yumi Hasawa, Also gave that one 4 stars. Then I finished Kaguya-sama Love is War Volume 1 by Aka Akasaka, and I gave this one 3 stars. Then Sweetness and Lightning Volume 1 by Gido Amagakuri, and I gave this one 4 stars. Then I finished Maid-sama the 2-in-1 edition Volume 1 by Hiro Fujiwara, which I gave 4 stars. Next was Sweat and Soap Volume 3 and Sweat and Soap Volume 4 by Kentetsu Yamada, and I gave both of these 5 stars. Then Black Butler Volume 1 by Yana Taboso, gave this one 3.5 stars. Okay, and these are the last 2 that I finished before the end of the readathon. So before the 25th, that was Denjiki Daisy Volume 1 by Kiyosuke Motomi. I gave this one 4 stars. And then Anonymous Noise Volume 1 by Ryoko Fukuyama, which I also gave 4 stars. In the last 5 volumes of manga that I finished, like I said, I finished these after the 25th, but I did finish them before the end of December, so I will just be including those. That was Children of Wells Volume 1 by Abby Umeda, which I gave 3.5 stars. An Incurable Case of Love Volume 3 by Maki and Joji, which I gave 3 stars. An Incurable Case of Love Volume 4 by Maki and Joji, which I gave 4 stars. An Incurable Case of Love Volume 5 by Maki and Joji, which I also gave 4 stars. And then the final volume of manga that I did finish in December was Prince Freya Volume 1 by Kiko Ishihara, which I gave 4 stars. So yeah, I think that's all I have for the 25 days of manga wrap up and Sipsby advent calendar review. I still need to finish up the bingo board, but it should be finished obviously by the time that this video goes up. So I will put the bingo board up on this side here, and I will let you guys, or so that you can see which bingos that I have completed. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos that I posted throughout the month of December. And yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.